So let's see some of the countermeasures for wireless hacking wireless networks. Defending against WPA, WPA2, WPA3 cracking passphrases. The only way to crack WPA is to sniff the PMK password associated with the handshake. The only way to crack WPA is to sniff the PMK password associated with the handshake authentication process. Apart from usual password guidelines, I found this different. Use diceware words or a password manager to secure passwords. Use diceware words or password manager to secure passwords. And then client settings, use WPA2 with AES CCMP encryption only. Set proper client settings. Example, validate the server, specify server address, and do not prompt for new servers. Regenerate keys for every new connection. Additional controls, ensure periodic updates to the firmware of wireless devices. Use VPN technology such as remote access VPN, extranet VPN, and intranet VPN. Implement protocols such as IPsec and SSL TLS for secure communication. Implement network access control or network access protection solution for additional control over end user connectivity. Defense against crack attacks. Apart from usual counter attacks, found some new ones like browse only secured websites and do not access sensitive resources when the device is connected to an unprotected network. If there are IoT devices, audit the devices and do not connect to insecure Wi-Fi routers. Always enable the HTTPS everywhere extension. Use a VPN to secure information in transit. So this is about defense against crack attacks. Always enable the HTTPS everywhere extension. Next, defense against alter attacks. Encrypt DNS queries and only use trusted DNS resolvers. Resolve DNS queries using HTTPS protocol. Use DNS over TLS or DTLS to provide encryption and integrity protection to the DNS traffic. Implement RFC 7858 and RFC 8310 to prevent DNS spoofing attacks. Repeating, implement RFC 7858 or RFC 8310 to prevent DNS spoofing attacks. Add MAC to user plain packets. Use DNS script protocol to authenticate communication between DNS client and DNS resolver. Use mobile device tools such as Zimperium to detect phishing and other tools from malicious sites. So the mobile device tool Zimperium can be used. Zimperium can be used to detect phishing and other attacks from malicious sites. Detection and blocking of rogue APs. We can perform RF scanning. So in this repurposed APs that perform only packet capturing and analysis using RF sensors are plugged in all over the wired network to detect and warn the WLAN administrator, but any wireless devices about any wireless devices operating in the area. So repurposed APs can detect these rogue APs using the RF sensors, and they can be placed everywhere in the wired network so that it can detect the rogue APs. Next is AP scanning. APs that have the functionality of detecting neighboring APs will expose the data through its MIBs and web interface. Wired side inputs. So network management software uses this technique to detect rogue APs. This software detects devices connected in the LAN, including Telnet, SNMP, and Cisco Discovery Protocol using multiple protocols. Wired side inputs. This is a software that detects the rogue APs. network management software. So blocking of rogue APs, deny wireless services to new clients by launching a denial of service on the rogue AP. Block the switch port to which an AP is connected or manually locate the AP and physically pull it off the LAN. Defense against wireless attacks, best practices for configuration. Change the default SSID after VLAN configuration. Set the router access password and enable firewall protection. Disable SSID broadcasts. Disable remote router login and wireless administration. Enable MAC address filtering on APs or routers. Enable encryption on APs and change phrases often. Passphrases often. Enable encryption on APs and change passphrases often. Close all unused ports to prevent attacks on APs. Best practices for SSID settings. The SSID cloaking feature is a very simple configuration that simple configuration change to the access points. Typically, a checkbox in the administration software allows the device to broadcast the SSID or not broadcast the SSID. The idea is that a casual observer of the wireless networks in range does not see the SSID. They will have no idea it exists and not attempt to associate with any of its access points. As you can probably detect already, this is a very weak security configuration. In fact, some would argue it is no security at all. Again, just protecting the network from a casual observer. From Aspen book, use SSID cloaking to keep certain default wireless messages from broadcasting the SSID to everyone. Place a firewall or packet filter between an AP and the corporate internet. Limit the strength of the wireless network. So you can remember this. So use the SSID cloaking. Uh, Use the SSID cloaking to stop attack on the SSIDs. Best practices for authentication. Choose WPA2 Enterprise with 802.1x authentication instead of WPA or WEP. Implement WPA2, WPA3 Enterprise wherever possible. Place wireless APs in a secure location. Use a centralized server for authentication. Enable server verification on the client side using 801, 802.1x authentication to prevent MITM attacks. Defense against Bluetooth hacking. Bluetooth operates in one of four security modes. Bluetooth devices adopting security mode 1 possess very little security. The security posture improves as the security mode number increases. So some of the countermeasures: keep the device in the non-discoverable mode or hidden mode. Regularly check of all devices paired in the past and delete any suspicious paired device. Always enable encryption when establishing a Bluetooth connection. Set the network range of a Bluetooth enabled device to the lowest and perform pairing only in a secured area. Disable automatic connections to the public Wi-Fi networks for protecting Bluetooth devices from unsecured sources. Wireless security tools. I think we already discussed about this wireless intrusion prevention system. So then Wi-Fi security auditing tool, Cisco Adaptive Wireless IPS, WatchGuard WIPS, WatchGuard Wireless IPS. So Wi-Fi predictive planning tools, Air Magnet Planner. Air Magnet Planner is a wireless network planning tool that accounts for building materials, obstructions, AP configurations, antenna patterns, and several other variables to provide a reliable predictive map of the Wi-Fi signal and performance. Wi-Fi vulnerability scanning tools, ZenMap, Wi-Fi security tool, Bluetooth firewall, Wi-Fi security tools for mobile Wi-Fi protector, Wi-Fi guard, Wi-Fi inspector.